Hello my dear children, welcome to this part 2 of the road not taken video. Let's have a look at it. Okay, the road not taken. This is a well-known poem about making choices and the choices that shape us. Robert Frost is an American poet who writes simply but insightfully about common, ordinary experiences. One reason why he had become so famous is every common person, every ordinary human being can connect to his poems so easily. Whatever the language, whatever the diction that he uses is so simple that everybody can read it and try to understand that. Yet, it is so insightful. Let's try to understand what this poem is actually telling us. Let's look at the title first of all. It is The Road Not Taken. The poet is bothering about the road which he did not take. The road not taken. Let's see what it is going to tell us. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both. And be one traveller, long I stood and looked down one as far as I could, to where it bent in the undergrowth. Let's look at this first stanza and try to understand. This whole poem is a 20-line poem and it is divided into 4 stanzas of 5 lines each. We also look at the rhyming scheme and also look at some of the poetic devices that have been employed in this beautiful poem. Let's have a listen. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood. Two roads diverged. Diverged means they got separated, divided. They got separated. For example, this is a road and the road has been divided like this. Right? I am not a very good artist. Please bear with my poor artistic skills. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood. Wood means here forest. There is a forest and in that forest the road got divided, got separated. Why is yellow used here? Yellow means it symbolizes the autumn season there. All the trees have turned yellow. I mean, the leaves have turned yellow and the roads are filled with dried leaves and they are in yellow color. So, the two roads got separated here and their roads are equally lay in different yellow color leaves. And sorry, I could not travel both. He could not travel on the both roads. The poet was standing here and he was in a position where he had to make a choice whether to go this way or that way, because he could not travel on both the roads unless he has some magical powers, right? And be one traveler. As he is only one traveler, he cannot travel on both the roads. What did he do? Long I stood. He stood there for a long time and he looked down one as far as I could. He looked down at one road as far as he could. As far as he could see, he observed one road very carefully, to where it bent in the undergrowth. One road which he was observing was actually had a turn. The road bent like this into the undergrowth. There was a lot of dense growth of plants and bushes were there. Into that the road bent. So till where he could see the road, he observed the road very carefully. Yes, whenever we make a choice, we need to be very careful about the choice, right? So that's like that it happened. This is the first stanza. And let's look at the rhyming scheme of this stanza. The word wood is here. The first line of this beautiful poem and the first line of this stanza is ending with the word wood. Let us give a letter A for this sound, wood. Okay, the second line is ending with both. So it is not rhyming with wood. So let us give a different letter, B. Okay, moving on. Third line has the word stood. Stood is rhyming with wood. So let us give the same letter here, A. Fourth line ends with could and it is also rhyming with wood. Could, would. So we shall give this A. And next, undergrowth. Growth is rhyming with both. So we're gonna give here B. So the rhyming scheme of this stanza is A B A A B A B, A, A, B. The first line, third and fourth lines rhyme together, and the second line and the last line of the stanza rhyme together. This is the rhyming scheme, and the same rhyming scheme follows all the 4 stanzas in this poem. Moving on to the second stanza, then took the other just as fair, and having perhaps the better climb, because it was grossy and wanted wear. Though as for that the passing there had warned them really about the same. Then took the other. What did he do? Our other was standing here. He observed one road very carefully, but he did not take this road. What did he do? He took the other road. Whatever the road that he had observed, he did not take. He took the other road. Why did he take this road? Is he giving us any reason? Let's have a look at it. Just as fair. He thinks that it is fair to choose this road. He thinks that it is right to choose this road. Why? And having perhaps the better climb. Maybe he had a better climb to take this road. He had a better reason to take that road. What is that? The reason is it was grassy and it wanted a wear. It was grassy means it was full of grass. This road is full of grass. It is filled with grass and it wanted wear. Here you have to understand this very carefully. The road hasn't been used much. It is new in a way. Wanted wear means it wanted people to walk upon it. That means people haven't used that yet. So, with that climb, he is going to choose that road. He examined one road and he took the other because he thinks that this road has not been used much, has not been walked upon, and it wanted wear. It was grassy, right? Though as for that, the passing there had warned them really about the same. These 2 lines are very important. Have a look at these 2 lines very carefully. Till now, we understood something, and from here on we are going to learn some contradiction to what we have learnt earlier. So have a listen very carefully. Though as for that the passing there had warned them really about the same. Just now what did he say? He said that this road is grassy and it wanted people to walk upon it. It is a new road. But what is he saying right now here? Though as for that, the passing there, as for the passing is considered, it had warned them really about the same. Both the roads are really warned about the same. For example, if 100 people walked upon this road, 100 people had walked upon this road. So both the roads are equally used by the people. It had warned them really about the same. It means that. Let's see. And both that morning equally lay in leaves, and no step had trodden black. Listen it very carefully. And both that morning, both the roads, both here means both the roads in that morning. So it is early in the morning when our author was traveling. It was early in the morning. So early in the morning, both these roads were equally lay in leaves. So here 100 leaves are there, here 100 leaves are there. No step had trodden black. Actually here, let's look at this word trodden here. So this is the past participle form of the verb tread. You know, tread, T-R-E-A-D. Tread, trod, trodden. So tread means to step upon something, right? So here, no leaves are turned black because no one stepped on them. No one had crushed them. No one had walked upon those. So that's why, as it is morning, all the night, whatever the leaves that had fallen on the ground, they are like that. They were not crushed. They were not trodden upon. They were not walked upon by people. What does this mean here? Both the roads are equally lay in the morning in leaves, and none of the leaves were crushed, none of the leaves were walked upon. What does it mean? Both the roads are equal. At least they are interchangeable. There is no difference between those roads except they are 2 different roads. Right? Moving on. Oh, I kept the first for another day. What did he do? He could not travel both the roads, so he examined this road, he took this road, but both the roads are at least interchangeable. What happened now? He left this choice for another day, yet knowing how way leads on to way, yet he knows that it is highly impossible to come back and take the other road, right? He doubts if he should ever come back, because he knows, everybody knows, when there is such a situation in our life, there will be no chance for us to come back and take back the decision or take the other road which we have left. So there is no way that he can come back and take the other road. In fact, he knows that. Moving on to the last stanza. I shall be telling this with a sigh, somewhere ages and ages hence, two roads diverged in a word, and I, hesitation here, and I took the one less travelled by, and that has made all the difference. I shall be telling this with a sigh. We are not sure about this, whether it is a sigh of contentment or sigh of regret, right? I shall be telling this with a sigh. After some time, like somewhere ages and ages hence. Hence means here in the future. In the future, after so many years, our poet will be telling to people, will be telling to his grandchildren or someone with a sigh, he will be telling like this. What will he tell? Two roads diverged in a word, and I took the one less travelled by, and that has made all the difference. So he will be telling his grandchildren like this. Once upon a time in my life where I had to make a choice between the two roads, I took the one less travelled by, and that has made all the difference. Have you observed the last two lines? Here in this third line, he brought back the first line of the stanza. The two roads diverged. Here, the two roads diverged in a word, and I, here, hesitation. I took the one less travelled by. Actually, is there a road which was less travelled by in the two roads according to these lines in the poem? Actually, it's not. Here he said so clearly that both the roads are equally worn out. But what is he saying here? After so many years, he will be telling to people, oh, I took the one less travelled by, and whatever the difference that has been made, it has been made by that decision of making that choice. So here the poet wants to exploit the human nature of bending the truth just to justify the choice whatever he made earlier. So we need to understand that there was no less travelled road in the two given options, but at last in the future he will be telling to the people, I took the one less travelled by, and that has made all the difference. We are not sure whether the difference is good difference or the bad difference. It has not been clearly mentioned here, but we think that it's a good difference because the road not taken. The poet is talking about the road that he did not take. So he was glad that he did not take that road. That's why he was so happy right now. Do you understand this? So these are the last two lines. Generally, people look at these two lines and people use these two lines so widely because they forget all the three stanzas above, and they keep telling, yes, I took the one less travelled by, and that has made all the difference. We hear this often in graduation speeches and in so many other famous speeches. We hear this. Many people use this dialogue, and people will be telling, oh, you know something, I have made a different choice. I did not go like a sheep. I did not follow other people, and I took the one road which was less travelled by, and that has made all the difference. When they are quoting these two lines in the poem, actually they do not mean what they are saying, because here there was no road which was less travelled by. Both the roads were equally walked upon by the people. Both the roads were equally chosen by the people. So there was no road which was less travelled by here, but when people wrongly quote it, when they had taken the decision because they took the road which was less traveled by. They're making a mistake over this. This is the wrong interpretation that we were talking about earlier in our former video. I hope you do got a good understanding. Let's dig somewhat deeper into this poem, knowing about the poetic devices that have been employed. We have already talked about the rhyming scheme here. The rhyming scheme is AB, AAB, and the same rhyming scheme is followed in the 3 stanzas: fair, where, there. These 3 rhyme together, and climb, same. These 2 rhyme together. So again here, AB, AAB. Lay, day, way. Black, back. So lay, day, way rhyme together. Black, back rhyme together. So again, AB, AAB. Coming to the last stanza, sigh, I, buy rhyme together. Hands, difference. These 2 rhyme together. So this has the rhyming scheme of AB, AAB. Here when you look at this, wanted, where. So these 2 words have sound, right? Consonant sound. This is what we call alliteration in poetic devices. Alliteration is the consonant sound, the repeated consonant sound in the immediate words or the connected words. So here wa sound is repeated here in these 2 words, so we call this alliteration. Here it is used. The poetic device of alliteration is used here to explain this. And enjambment, another poetic device, enjambment, is used here. I made it a little messy, so let me clean this first. Okay, see, look at these 3 lines. These 3 lines actually did not end. These 3 lines do not have any punctuation mark, either a comma, full stop or question mark. Nothing is given here, but the line continued to the next line. So here what do we have? This is what we call enjambment. Enjambment is continuing the line to the next line without using any punctuation marks. We have the same enjambment here also, and here also there was no punctuation mark, but the sentence is continued into the second line. So this is called enjambment. And repetition, here the words the word ages is repeated, so that is what we call repetition. So this is all we have about this beautiful poem Robert Frost written, The Road Not Taken. Hope you all have understood this. If you have any further doubts, you can get back to me, you can make a call to me, or you can send a message to me. You can contact me in any way you want.